IVM.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. I'm kind of excited recording today's episode because the word that I'm sharing with you is very important to me, and I truly believe that it is something that is extremely important for every single one of us to take into account and be very aware of. Today I'm talking about V for values. But before I jump into breaking down this word for you and how you can identify your values, I want you to understand that many of us use this word loosely. We often say things like, he or she doesn't have the same value system as me. That person doesn't have good values, or that person has flawed values, or that person doesn't have any values at all. Now, understand one thing. The same person who uses these words, when asked, what are your values, will often respond with, what do you mean? I'm not sure how to answer that question. Or, I don't know what my values are. So if you are using these sentences where you are judging someone based on their values or looking for someone based on their values, you need to know what your values are first. And you need to understand that word first. What is a value? Or what are our values? Our values are those beliefs that influence our decisions and our choices. The smallest choice that you make in your life, how you react to somebody, how you respond to someone, how you take decisions in your life, what kind of choices you make in your life, all of these are influenced by your value system. So it is very, very important to start identifying your belief systems. What you think is right or wrong, and why do you believe that that is right or that is wrong? That's where you find your value. Now, I'm going to give you a tool to do this. It's a simple tool, but it's not easy to do. So don't be in a hurry. Take your time to do this exercise over the entire week. Do it in small parts. Do parts of it, sit with it, mull over it, sleep over it, and then get back to it all over again. Make a list of all your I should statements. Now you make this list based on all the different relationships that you have in your life and all the different roles that you play in your life. So I should as a daughter, I should as a mother, I should as a father, I should as a sibling, I should as a friend, I should as a colleague, I should with regards to money, I should with regards to my career, I should as an individual. In terms of all of the different areas in your life, start writing your I should statements. Once you write these I should statements down, you also want to look at it and start identifying which ones are a belief and which ones are just desires or expectations. I should be loved by all is an expectation or a desire. I should be trusted by my friends is more of a belief and not just a desire. So start identifying what seems like a belief and what seems like a desire or expectation. Now you may find this confusing in the beginning. So don't try to get it all right and don't try to be perfect. Just do as much as you can. Even if you find 3 beliefs and you break those down a little further to find the value that is underlying it, that's a good start. Now what do I mean by that? So if you have put out a statement saying, I should be trusted by my friends, then the value that is underlying it is possibly reliability, trustworthiness, loyalty, and even a sense of responsibility, or even a sense of duty. So these are the different values that could be at play. Which one do you identify with? So when you look at that belief written down there, ask yourself, why do I believe this? Why do I want to be trusted by all? What is the quality or the value that is underlying it? Now, qualities and values are 2 different things, but I'm not going to jump into that and complicate this for you because at this point, I just want you to start identifying these different words. And slowly and steadily, you will recognize what are the values that are influencing your decisions. So let me give you an example. A sense of duty is a value for me, which means that I will always be there for certain people who are tied to me by certain very important relationships. For instance, my parents, my siblings, and specific friends. For me, my sense of duty says I must behave in an XYZ manner. So my value is sense of duty or being dutiful, and that then leads me to be a certain kind of a daughter, a certain kind of a friend, a certain kind of a sibling. However, I also want to give you the flip side of a value. Now, value should be in balance like everything else in our life. When a value is overworked or overused, then your behavior will not be in balance. You will be overdoing something or underdoing something. So for instance, when my sense of duty is overpowering me or is very loud, then I will go out of my way and do things for other people at the cost of my own peace or at the cost of things that otherwise I should be doing. And hence, the moment you recognize your value, you also want to ask yourself if it is in balance. No matter how good a value is, all values are good, but all values can also become bad. So always remember that and identify your values, figure out if they are overpowering you or if you aren't even aware of how it is playing out in your life. Once you recognize your values, you can then start understanding why you behave in a certain manner, and you can start evolving into a truer version of yourself. It becomes easier to make certain choices. It becomes easier to have conviction in your choices and your decisions. You now know why you think a certain way because you know what you believe in. So on that note, I'm going to head off, and I hope that you have some fun discovering yourself. I hope you find it interesting to learn new things about yourself this week as you do this exercise. If you have any questions, if you are confused about values, then DM me. My Instagram handle is PositivityAngel, and I will try to help you out. You can listen to all previous episodes on the IVM app and on the IVM website. Also, you can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is IVM Podcasts. So on that note, I'm going to head out of here and catch you again next Monday.
I hope you enjoyed that show. So another really fun week on the network. I don't know if you saw this, but Varun Thakur was on Advertising is Dead. That was a really, really fun episode. Besides that, we've had some great guests all over the place. We had Ram Madhvani on Cyrus Says. We had Saurabh Mukherjee, a legend in the finance space. He was on Paisa Vaisa. He and Anupam have co-written a book, so definitely do check out that episode and go buy their book too. I mean, that would be another great thing to do. Uncle Please Sit had a really, really cool episode with hosts of our other show, Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Anirudh and Janice. They were talking about celebrity culture and how that's progressed for the last few years. And yeah, it's just been a really, really great week. One episode I do want to shout out. A couple of weeks ago, Pulyabazi did an episode which was just amazing. They were talking about the letters between Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore. Do check those out. Those were really good. And with that, hope to see you again next week.
Do you wish you were smarter? Well, so do we. But the next best thing?
We could make you sound smarter.
And to help you with this endeavor, we are Simplified, a podcast that attempts to break down the complex world around you with a little knowledge, a lot of poor jokes, and a ton of random trivia.
Episodes out every Monday.
On the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
See ya!